Dear viewers, welcome to ERi-TV English News broadcast for this hour. I'm Barsab Taghla reporting live from the headquarters in the capital Asmara, and these are the top stories for today, Wednesday, 10 December. President Isaias holds extensive talks with Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. The National Union of Eritrean Women Central Region held activity assessment meeting. Global trade to exceed $35 trillion in 2025. And Thailand-Cambodia border clashes enter third day as 500,000 people flee. And your local reports. President Isaias met today in the mid-afternoon hours with Crown Prince and Prime Minister Mohammed bin Salman at Al Yamama Palace in Riyadh for extensive discussions on bilateral cooperation and issues of mutual interest. The meeting reviewed the historical and brotherly relations between Eritrea and the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and explored prospects for strengthening and expanding economic cooperation between the two countries. On regional matters, the two sides exchanged views on developments in the Nile Basin, the Horn of Africa, the Red Sea and the Arabian Gulf. The consultations also addressed the constructive role Saudi Arabia could play in fostering stability and cooperation across these regions. President Isaias highlighted the previous absence of an active Saudi role in regional affairs, underlining that sustainable peace and stability are indispensable foundations for meaningful economic development. He further called for enhanced Saudi contributions to promoting peace and stability in the wider region and in Eritrea's immediate neighborhood. Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, for his part, stated that he will dispatch a delegation to Eritrea in the near future for deeper consultations on the vital regional issues discussed. Foreign Minister Usman Saleh, Eritrea's charge d'affaires Wayne Garazgiher, Saudi Foreign Minister Faisal bin Farhan, Advisor for National Security Dr. Musaid Mohammed Al-Aben, and Saudi Ambassador to Eritrea Mishail Hamadan Al-Ra'in participated in the meeting. Coming back to events occurring within the country, the Central Region branch of the National Union of Eritrean Women conducted a meeting on 8 and 9 December to review its 2025 activities and discuss the program for 2026. The meeting was attended by representatives of the Union branch from the 16 subzones of the region. At the meeting, extensive discussions were held on political awareness-raising programs and their impact, the progress and results in expanding the Union, efforts exerted to preserve the identity and values of the Union, activities aimed at developing the Union's economic capacity, training programs that were organized, women's participation in voluntary blood donation, efforts to eradicate harmful practices, and measures to strengthen overall organizational capacity. The heads of units of the Union also presented reports outlining achievements registered and challenges encountered. According to the reports, encouraging results have been recorded in increasing membership and enhancing women's participation in national affairs. Ms. Alan Belai, head of the Union branch, called for preserving the achievements registered, addressing the challenges encountered, and enhancing the role of mass media in promoting women's awareness. In other news, a seminar aimed at enhancing public understanding of communicable diseases in general and HIV/AIDS and hepatitis in particular was conducted for residents and business owners in Foro subzone. Nurse Maharik El-Ab, head of health facilities in the subzone, said that the awareness-raising activities being conducted in collaboration with partners have contributed significantly to controlling the prevalence of communicable diseases. Noting that pregnant women and marrying couples are conducting voluntary counseling at all health facilities, Nurse Mahari called for coordinated efforts to prevent new infections. He also urged the public to refrain from practicing traditional treatments for hepatitis. Mr. Ibrahim Mohammed Adam, head of public health, provided a briefing on food safety, environmental pollution, and the causes and consequences of foodborne diseases. The participants conducted extensive discussions on the topics raised and adopted several recommendations, including conducting sustainable awareness-raising activities in remote areas, expanding hepatitis diagnostic services, carrying out regular inspections of milk and meat products, and ensuring consistent environmental sanitation activities. Commending the ongoing efforts to safeguard public health, Mr. Zarazgina Mariam, head of social services in the subzone, urged pregnant women to give birth at health facilities. Still with your domestic reports, the Nok Uhdamana Training Center in Duarwa subzone has provided 3 months of vocational training to 86 youth, including 40 females. The theoretical and practical training covered computer technology, electronics, video editing, still and video camera operation, solar system installation, and electricity line installation, indicating that the training center is exerting strong effort to equip youth with various skills through organized training programs. Engineer Simon Tesfai, manager of the training center, called for coordinated action from concerned institutions for better outcomes. Mr. Gabra Meskel Tesfa Mariam, head of vocational training in the subzone, noting that providing vocational training alongside regular education significantly contributes to capacity enhancement, called on the trainees to further develop their skills through continuous practice. Commending the interest demonstrated by the trainees during the program, Mr. Jakob Tsagay, head of vocational and technical training, urged the trainees to apply the knowledge they gained to improve their livelihoods. International reports and more will follow after the short break. So stay tuned. Welcome back. The United Nations Trade and Development said yesterday that global trade in goods and services is expected to exceed $35 trillion in 2025 for the first time. According to report, despite geopolitical tensions, higher costs, and uneven global demand, which slowed growth momentum, global trade continued to grow through the second half of 2025. The report said global trade is projected to grow about 7% year-on-year in 2025, adding $2.2 trillion to last year's total. East Asia registered the strongest export growth of 9% over the past year, with intra-regional trade surging by 10%. Africa and South-South trade also posted robust gains, highlighting the growing weight of emerging economies in global trade. According to authorities, fighting between Thailand and Cambodia has continued for a third day, with cross-border shelling and air raids forcing more than 500,000 civilians to flee their homes and seek shelter. Officials from the two Southeast Asian neighbors today also accused each other of restarting the conflict that has killed at least 13 soldiers and civilians so far this week, and led more than 500,000 people from both sides of the border to evacuate for safety. Thailand's Ministry of Defense spokesperson told reporters at a news conference that more than 400,000 people have been moved to safe shelters across 7 provinces. In neighboring Cambodia, 101,229 people have been evacuated to safe shelters and relatives' homes in 5 provinces. This is according to Cambodian Ministry of National Defense spokeswoman. In today's final report, India and Brazil have signed a pact for cooperation on the maintenance of Scorpion submarines and other vessels, the Indian Navy said on Monday. The Memorandum of Understanding also aims to boost defense research and development collaboration and drive technological innovation and sustaining various naval platforms. The BRICS partners have been working on strengthening defense ties recently. Indian Defense Minister Rajnath held a meeting with Brazilian Vice President Geraldo Alckmin and Mucho in New Delhi in October. In July, the 8th Joint Defense Committee meeting in Brasilia examined co-production opportunities, military training exchanges, and regional security cooperation. New Delhi has encouraged defense firms from friendly countries to partner with Indian arms manufacturers to bolster the Make in India initiative. Dear viewers, that was it for today, but before we conclude, a quick reminder of the top stories. President Isaias holds extensive talks with Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. The National Union of Eritrean Women's Central Region held activity assessment meeting. Global trade to exceed $35 trillion in 2025. And Thailand-Cambodia border clashes enter third day as 500,000 people flee. Thank you for watching, and we'll be back tomorrow with more news and developments. But until then, have a good one.